Hey guys, and welcome back to Boxmining. Today's video is all about scaling Ethereum and taking everything to the next level. We know that with more and more crypto users coming in, Ethereum's gas prices are going up, and the only way to solve this is to scale Ethereum. Now, you guys probably heard of the word layer 2 pop up here and there. And in many times, people don't really understand what it's really about, how it works. It's almost like the Elon Musk company Boring, which is digging deep holes, trying to solve traffic. Kind of similar in the sense that there is a lot of mystery, a lot of misunderstanding, and this video is all about clarifying that and making that more well understood. To help us along this journey, we have Leslie from Genesis Block Ventures. He's been doing both research deep into what's happening on layer 2 solutions, and of course, he's helping out Boba as well to, build out their entire network. So let's get started. Leslie, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. The market, there's a lot of building in this space, so very excited in the past 6 months or so compared to maybe 3 or 4 years. I mean, we've grinded through many years of building the tech, and we're actually here now with real use cases, and it's a good problem to have where there's too many guys on the network.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it's good that you've been diving head deep into layer 2, because if you've been thinking about it, layer 2 has been viewed as one of the best ways to scale. Even beyond Ethereum 2.0, it's probably not going to solve all of the congestion problems. There's just too many. Right. But, layer 2, so what's your take on layer 2? Why is it there? Give us a brief overview of what's happening here.
Sure. So right now, early in the year or even last year, if you were to use Uniswap or to lend on Ethereum, the gas was pretty low, and also the price of Ethereum was pretty low. So it would maybe cost $5, $10 to do a trade, which is expensive, but not the end of the world. I mean, a wire costs $20. Right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
At least it's relatively reasonable. But recently, if you look at what's going on, especially if you look at NFT minting periods, it could be $200, $400 to do a trade. I mean, if I have $1,000 that I'm putting in savings that costs $200 to do a trade, it just doesn't work. So, there's been a lot of focus on layer 2s, and even I think Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation, they've been focused on this for a while because they know you can only do so many transactions. And so people have been working on technology for a long time, and there's a lot of different solutions. I would say there's two main things to look at. One is it connected by code to Ethereum? What that means is if someone hijacks the computers of another network, are you still able to get your coins back onto Ethereum? Because Ethereum is the most decentralized network in the world that can run smart contracts. So you really want to base off that foundation. The second thing is there's all these amazing applications that are built on Ethereum. How easy is it for people to move the code onto the layer 2? It sounds easy, but it's pretty hard. And this is what we call being EVM compatible, which is Ethereum virtual machine. So with these two things, people have been working on this for a couple of years now, and we're actually right at the stage where this stuff is in reality. You can actually deploy.
So it gets a little bit complicated about layer 2 because a lot of people, they're looking for faster solutions. They're looking for other blockchains. But what's kind of interesting here is that layer 2 directly uses Ethereum, right? And how do I trust that? Because I think a lot of people are confused. Is it still Ethereum? Is it not Ethereum? What's happening here?
There's a conversation around what is a true layer 2. I guess a layer 2 is built on another layer, right? So what that means is if someone hijacks your servers and tries to take all the coins away, are you still able to be protected by Ethereum? Because I mean, I think everyone feels, and this is true, the Bitcoin and the Ethereum networks are the most solid networks.
Yeah, that's where they trust billions of dollars, right?
Exactly.
Because if you want to trust billions or even going to trillions figure, which is what we're looking at, you really want to have that trust there.
Right.
So you want to have the same level of trust on that layer 2, right?
So there are so-called true layer 2s, and there's a few technologies that Vitalik and the team have worked on, and two of them are sort of optimistic rollups and ZK rollups. I mean, I think the main gist of the fact is actually every time a trade happens, you actually record some condensed version on Ethereum. And so if the server breaks down, you can actually decode it from the Ethereum chain and everyone that has their coins in the layer 2 actually gets their coins back. on Ethereum, which increases which relies on real Ethereum security rather than some other chain or some other tokens that you have to hold.
Okay, so let's zoom out again. So you're talking about layer 2s. You're talking about using layer 2s that will be a lot faster and also a lot cheaper for people to use it with the same security as Ethereum.
Right.
All right, this is great. So you've also obviously invested a lot in BOBA. So this is
Right.
something that, if you guys know, GBV, Genesis Block Ventures, has taken a huge position in BOBA.
Right.
All right, taking a look at BOBA as well. All right, so I've used BOBA. And what's interesting is I think a lot of people ask this question of like, okay, BOBA is a coin, but unlike Matic or BSC, because if I'm on BSC or Matic, I can use the BNB on BSC, or I can use the Matic Polygon token on Matic.
Right.
On BOBA, I'm using Ethereum. Right. So I directly transfer that Ethereum over via the bridge. I'm using Ethereum. What's the point of BOBA?
Right. Yeah. I mean, so the main thing is to make sure that everything is EVM compatible, so all the projects can come over. But the point of the BOBA token is really to share in the profits of the network. So they're still working on it, but I know that this will come out soon. Is you can stake. They don't have validators on the Boba network. It'd be watchers, sort of checking for fraud, checking for malicious counterparties, and so in return you would get a percentage of revenues, and you get some yield on the Boba token. So the Boba token is really driving the incentives that secure the whole layer 2 versus Ethereum. Yeah.
Okay. So I think the best analogy for this is like kind of like. Boba is like a bus, right? You can bundle a bunch of people onto this bus to get to your location rather than everyone driving, right? Because if everyone drives, it's going to cause congestion, the network's going to get clogged, and then it's going to be super expensive to even move, right? But it's a bus, and then the Boba token is just taking the profits of the bus company, basically, right?
That's right. And so, the more users, the more fees, and actually the cheaper it is to transact. So there's a bit of economies of scale that's going on. Yeah.
And also obviously you made an investment into OMG as well, and so OMG is kind of related to BOBA because BOBA had an airdrop. How does these two coins relate to each other?
GBV acquired the OMG team, and they were building a technology called Plasma. This was back in 2017. Plasma is a sort of high-speed, it's another scaling solution, but it's really for transferring coins. That's it. You can't do smart contracts. So it's very fast, but it's kind of limited in its scope. And so we came in and we saw that the narrative really was, back early this year, we saw the narrative was going to go towards scaling Ethereum or having solutions to Ethereum because it's just getting too expensive. And so Jan and team came in, they discussed, and they thought the more important thing right now is to make sure that we build a platform that developers can use easily and is cheap for users. Yeah.
Okay, so does that mean? I'll ask a blunt question. Does that mean OMG is outdated? Because it feels like OMG was working on just scaling coins, and BOBA's the next level, right? Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, not too sure about the plans for right now. It's still building Plasma on the Ethereum network, which also makes it relatively expensive unless there's economies of scale. But there are needs for super high throughput, on secured by Ethereum, because the roll-up technology can only go maybe 100x or 200x of Ethereum. Plasma can be 65,000 times faster, and maybe I think the team will be looking at ways in the future to think of more use cases for OMG. But right now, I think definitely the narrative is on these EVM compatible networks and getting a whole ecosystem over, which I've been pleasantly surprised with the TVL and a lot of projects that are coming to talk to us. Yeah.
So I guess the big picture way of looking at this is that BOBA is the one that will scale maybe 10, 100, maybe 2,000 times, but it's compatible with Ethereum virtual machine. So it supports smart contracts. It's basically almost like a one-to-one mirror of Ethereum.
Right.
But the OMG network is focused on making basically even more scaling, but only for transactions. Only it's dumb money. And
I mean, I'm not the team, so please don't take this as what the team is planning to do. But fast throughput, I think, is something that's needed as a second layer on top. So maybe streaming music or maybe games where it's in, there's a lot of small transactions and you want to be much cheaper. I think there's more applications there in the future, but for now, I think the narrative is definitely on the EVM compatible chains.
So obviously you're super excited about the BOBA ecosystem. So what's making you excited right now?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely excited because it's got a rare combination of two things. It's got the strong technical team and the understanding of the current DeFi landscape. So when I'm excited about BOBA, I'm excited about, yes, sure, the potential of the network. I'm also excited about being an early mover to the network and seeing the ecosystem grow and excited about the projects that are building on there.
Right.
Because we've talked to a bunch of them and we feel that they have the right spirit of building and creating the new future of finance, I guess. Yeah.
Right. So I guess if you look at it from a big picture, right? So for BOBA to succeed, obviously it needs to solve the problem of scaling, and you want the ecosystem to grow, right? You want Ethereum to grow beyond what it's growing right now. So at the end of the day, it means that there's more people taking that bus and obviously compressing that data. So BOBA can itself also earn some fees on the side as well, right?
The bus has a restaurant, so they can have drinks there, have a good meal, on the bus. Yeah.
All right. So what's happening in this ecosystem? What are the top applications right now? What are top use cases right now?
Sure. There's a bunch of projects that are already on BOBA. The biggest AMM is called Oolong Swap. And actually, if you look at the TVL amount of money that's sort of locked there, it was over 500 million for a while. So that's you can compare that to some of the other projects out there. Given that and the fact that it's a new chain gives me a lot of hope and I think there's a lot of potential because there's already a lot of guys that are working on there. And just to be clear, like the TVL that's on there are like stable coins, Ethereum, other chains. I think BNB is on there. It's a lot of coins that are not just sort of the network coins. A lot of people are actually trading on the platform. So that's one that's out there. There's a few other ones. I'll mention them as well. Senpai Swap and the Swapper Chan are also other ones. I don't know. There's a cartoon theme there, but I guess it's we're open to all. We'll see where the community takes us. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the restaurant. So the first thing obviously is a trade, right? And then now for trade, getting more value locked is important because that means that there's more liquidity to trade, and traders love more value locked, right? What do you think is next? So in terms of coming onto the network, populating this space, what do you think? What are areas that you think people should look at as well?
Okay. So I'd like to use an analogy of like having a country. Each chain is a country. So BOBA is a country, and what do you need? You need the government. You need like a police station, a fire station, a hospital. And so the most important thing is an AMM. The reason why is because you don't need oracles or external things. You can actually build your own AMM. That's the foundation for a lot of things. Then you need like the fire station, and so the next apps we see coming on are a lending borrow program, and we've had 4 or 5 projects that are interested and we're talking to about building on there. There's also vaults, there's also NFT marketplace, and we've already had Boba Punks, which is I guess a play on CryptoPunks.
Right.
If the community likes it, so more power to them, right? So we have that, and also even we have our resident Olympus fork. Right. So we have a bunch of guys that are coming and we're doing these 3 or 4 things, and also a stablecoin swap. To me, what's exciting is not that there's these guys coming over forking these chains, is that some of the teams we talk to, they're very thoughtful. They don't want to just fork a chain and it goes up, and they actually are thinking about unique and novel ways to expand on it rather than just copy it over, put some cartoons on it, and call it a chain. So I'm biased, but I feel good about the long-term prospects of these projects.
Got it. All right. So obviously you're quite bullish on BOBA as well. I mean, obviously, you have investments, you got this. But why are you so bullish? Why choose this over, just playing other layer 2 solutions and just having fun there?
Sure. I mean, this is just our view. I feel like the combination is quite strong, and we're a fund, so we do look at RV. We look at how does this compare to the other chains? Is the tech better or worse? Do people know about it? Is it under the radar? But when people know about it, they'll be fans. And so just overall, we think it's one of the better plays. So tech-wise, as I said, I'm very, very impressed with Jan and Alan and the team. Some of the top guys we've seen in the space. which is needed for a layer 2. In terms of being under the radar and being sort of DeFi native, there's a lot of other chains. They run a different track. You know, that they're corporate. They have sort of Web 2 guys as their backing, and sometimes we feel these chains don't fully embrace the new paradigm that is crypto, and we feel Boba definitely has that. So that's the second thing. And just looking at FDV and market caps, there's a lot of established chains out there. You know, you can slowly see them moving up, right? So to name some others like Solana, Avalanche, these are all sort of Matic, these are all sort of moving up. And that makes us think, what's the true potential of this when people find out about it? Because I think for a lot of people, Boba is still under the radar. It's only on a fewer number of exchanges right now. We expect that to change. And so just overall, besides the fact that other guys are more established, you sort of look at the potential and where it's going to go.
Right. So you're trying to make an early play here. You're like, okay, I want to be here early as possible to get on top of this.
Right. I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum, these guys will always be sort of steady plays, but we're fun. We want to look for upside, and also if we're there early and we're involved, what I've generally learned is. You learn a lot more about the ecosystem, and you're able to help out, shape it in the way you want it, and also newer projects will reach out to you too, and you're able to shape that. So we want to be able to help Boba sort of think long term rather than too many sort of copies and forks.
Got it.
Which some other chains have too. Yeah.
Got it. All right, so that's your overview, guys. So thank you, Leslie, for giving us a brief overview of what's happening on layer 2 and obviously why he is super bullish on Boba as well. So if you guys have any questions as well, leave them down in the comment section below. We'll make Leslie answer them personally, just joking. But also, of course, if you guys want to check out what's happening on Boba, we have a second video up here. So that's an interview with the guys that are running Boba. So that's Alan and Jan. And of course, if you guys want to check out more about Boba, make sure you go downstairs, go down, put some links down below. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hope you guys found it useful. And if you want to find Leslie, find him on Twitter. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Great. Thanks.